Hey everyone, this is Bubbleknight here. Welcome to part 8, I think. I'm not sure, but look in the description below. I will check it later. So, last time we found out that Isabella, by the sheer luck or art skills, that she was alive. So, I heard that there's like different endings where in the first chapter she can have alternate route. Maybe she was dead or something, but I am glad I got her to be alive and talking to us right now. So, without further ado, let's do this.
My doing. You didn't look very comfortable sleeping on the couch, all hunched up like that.
It would have been enough for something temporary. Sorry I stole your bed.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I leave a lady sleeping in such uncomfortable conditions? Not in this house. My nana will give me a tough scolding if I ever did that, I'm telling you.
Thanks a lot, Zach. I know I barged in at a very inconvenient time last night. I wasn't really thinking when I did, and...
Hey, it's cool, Bella. I ain't mad at you. That's what friends do. You guys are welcome here anytime. Although Ashton abuses the anytime part a lot, I don't really mind. We might have less wiggle room if all four of us are present, considering the size of this place. But as long as no one makes anything explode, it's totally fine.
Fine or not, I still owe you one for last night's trouble, especially since you don't seem to be...
A concerned expression passes over her features as she spares another cursory glance over the table, back to the bottle holding a very small piece what keeps the bad memories at bay. The blood looming over at Pa's heart. The horrified look on Ma's face as she watches him fall lifeless to the ground, and every ounce of spite seeping from the stranger's smile. You don't belong here. You monkeys don't belong here. It never stopped, doesn't it?
Well, you don't seem to be feeling well. Let me know, okay? I'll make it up to you somehow.
She makes a slight gesture with her head and towards the bottle, asking a question without really asking. Subtly has never been one of her greatest assets. But right now, even Ash would have been a little amazed, if not at loss for words, at that. She has left it up to me whenever I ever give the response she wants to hear or not. I think she just, be his girlfriend or something. A little clever from her, if anyone asks me. What? Play it off? Tell the truth? I'm gonna have to save this. Seems our relationship level is pretty good with everyone right now, so tell the truth. But it's never easy, in it? Talking to my mom, probably that is. Hold on a second. It got higher, so we picked the right choice. It will never be, not by a long shot. Not when I've let this stay this way for so long. I realized that long ago, when the wounds are still fresh and the dreams are nightly current. Can't force yourself to get better or move on to better things. It is what normal now, and I can only cope. The question in her eyes may be unwarranted, born simply out of curiosity and sincere concern for a friend. I don't owe her an explanation, in fact, but for all the people I kept close in my life, she's probably one of the few people perhaps I can trust with this. Maybe she won't understand entirely. I can never hope she will. No, never to the full extent. That alone is expecting too much of her and giving too much of what I can. However, for her shortcomings, I know she will hear me out, and that is all I can ask for her.
My bad. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't have seen me with these.
The pills rattle slightly against the container when I gently set it back to its usual place. Always a small area closest to my laptop, near the right hand. Within reach, however, whenever, it is quite a reminder of what I shouldn't miss every day.
What? Oh, is it bad? I was just thinking that maybe it's a cold like Becca's. Do you need me to get anything from the store? Soup or something? There's one nearby, right? I can run real quick and...
No, nothing of that sort. I'm perfectly healthy right now. It's really difficult to say, but can you promise me you'll listen at least?
What is this about, Zach?
I should have been upfront with you about this a long time ago. Well, Ashton found out without me telling him anything. But you already know how that guy is. Can't hide anything from him.
If it's something you're having trouble saying, you don't have to force yourself to tell me. I'll forget I ever saw anything and won't ask questions. Promise.
No, I need to get this off my chest eventually. Besides, we're already here. Might as well finish what I started, yeah?
If you say so.
She takes a seat on the couch, her postures ease and open, and her smile honest, as if this is just a simple talk between two friends on a regular day. It is far from one, but her unreserved air is enough to stem down the twinge of unease and that threatens to come up.
Let's hear it then.
And she does. Feels like yesterday. Achievement unlocked. True to her word, she listens while the story spills out of my mouth. Of my mom and pop in the little diner across the pond and what it left me that day. I can't recall most of it now. My own account jagged with a few missing details here and there. The passing year have eroded most of my recollection for the whole incident. All except for one moment in the kitchen. The ring of gunshots as vivid as it sounded that day. Even Moss' hysterical sting in the moment Pa's body hit the floor motionless, his lifeblood flowing out from under him. In the gunman, he was smiling. He was smiling when Pa opened the door to welcome him. He was smiling when he pulled a bullet into Pa's chest and Mom's head. Oh, that's horrible. I've heard the story how the one world can be a cruel place for people like us before. I never believed until that moment.
Nan and Gran took us right after that. Sis and I flew straight to New Jersey as soon as they heard the news. A few days after, Mom and Pa were laid to rest. And we have a new home a continent away. I didn't even get the chance to take my favorite pillow with me. They said something about the change of environment will be good for us. They had no idea the different kind of ghosts would follow me here.
I expected questions, mostly those brimming with childlike curiosity, and maybe some that are a little too hard to answer. But to her credit, she just sat there, lent her ears, and looked at me with no expectations or unnecessary judgment in her eyes. She appears wiser and older like this, easier to see the breadwinner in her. Her young sibling unlucky to have her. When I'm done, after everything's been said, she wraps her arm around me, a bit awkward considering the gap in our height, but it gets her sentiment across. But it's difficult to answer this kind, if I'm supposed to reciprocate the gesture given by early apprehension. She pulls away shortly after a smile on her face. Not the reaction I braced myself for, but it's obviously better than what I imagined.
Are you not gonna say anything?
Am I supposed to say anything after? Like, apologize or something? I don't think that's very appropriate, but if you want to hear one, I can think of something real quick.
Not really. Other people have something to say after usually. And they're not necessarily nice either.
Oh, okay then. I won't. I can't think of something anyway. Sorry, I'm not very good with this. Who else knows, by the way?
My older sister, grandparents, and just Ash and you for now. Maybe I think I should tell Rebecca too, but...
But not right now?
Yeah, not right now. But I'm ready. Like today.
I'm sure she'll be willing to hear you out once you do.
I don't doubt she will. I'm more afraid of how she'll react after. One step at a time, yeah? Whew. Surprisingly, it feels good to get that one out my chest. I was a little afraid you'd be angrier. I didn't tell you earlier than today.
I'm not angry. I'm just surprised. You didn't look like it. I wouldn't have suspected. I suppose that's how it often is, isn't it? We all have our... what's the word Becca uses? Inner demons? But this is something personal to you. I understand why you'd rather have a few people know.
That too. Well, these past few weeks haven't been easy for you. I didn't want to add that. Not after last night.
Something passes in her face, brief, fleeting, and disappear right before I can recognize what it is.
You okay?
Yep, no worries. I'll be fine.
You ready to talk about what happened last night, Bella?
Look, about last night.
Oh, there he goes.
Never mind. This isn't a good time.
No, this is a perfect time. Speak it out, girl.
But don't lose sleep over this, alright? What's important is you got what you want to say out. And if you need me, I'll be here.
I should be relieved, but her words are more than reassuring to my ears. There should be comforting here and hear those alone, in knowing I have another person to rely on if things ever go bad. But somehow, I find myself worrying more for her instead. I'll make another attempt to get the story out of her if I can, but this is a dance I know all too well, and with her, I doubt forcing her to say something would yield any results. As much as I want to intimidate Ash, there's so much I can ask that won't result in something a little over disastrous. I can't speak today. I can't speak any day. Why am I doing this? I bet she will stop talking to me until a week passes. At worst, I'd rather not risk it. I have never seen her angry. Outright annoyed, maybe often directed at Ash, but never furious. What did they say again about the happy people when angered? Besides, it'll be unfair to her after our little chat.
So, food then?
She seems relieved at the brisk change of subject, as if it had been simply waiting for its cue all its time. Her stomach rumbled as it mentioned food. Rather loudly, as a matter of fact.
Alrighty, Missy. We're going to get some chow now. Better be quick, though. Can't have your stomach starting a revolution on us here.
Don't make fun of me. I'm not that hungry. Maybe a little. I didn't think I'd end up skipping dinner last night.
And now we have one starved stomach protesting. Sorry, it'll be nothing fancy, since I'm a little low on stocks. I should probably drop by the grocery store after the meeting this afternoon.
I can make a quick run for you if you want.
Nah, I've got enough to put together something nice here. Maybe. I could always improvise if we're missing an ingredient or two. It ain't like we're going for a Michelin 3-star status here. Also, didn't I say you're a guest? Is this a Filipino thing? Or just Rebecca rubbing off on you?
The soft laughter that comes on her doesn't quite reach her eyes. Neither, the answer is neither. Because if she stays idle, she remember.
On second thought, I might need a little help slicing up the potatoes while I prep the ham. You up for that?
What? Do you think instant noodles are all I'm about? I'll have you know I can cook a mean paella with my eyes closed. All my siblings love it.
Sure you can. Come on. I think I know what we'll do with those spare ingredients.
Despite a massive effort to keep the mood light with small chatter, cooking ends up being a mostly quiet affair. Between us, the consistent clapping of the knife against the board and the muffled noise from the television I left running, words have become surprisingly difficult to string together. Not entirely unusual. We had moments like this before, but definitely unnerving with how things are now. I really wish someone else would come knock at the door. Out the awkward moment. As pleasant as this is, breaking the ice or keeping the conversation going has never been my forte. That has always been Isabella's or Rebecca's department. Sometimes Ash's, although most coming from him border on awkward or embarrassing. Speaking of the guy, he never did call back. I'm willing to bet my entire yearly salary that he fell right back to sleep after that call.
Sorry, Bella. Could you...
Yep, I got it. The potatoes are almost ready, by the way. I turned down the heat just in case. You might want to check on them, though. Hold on, I'll be right there. Sheesh, wait up. If you keep rapping at the door like that, you'll break it down. Ash.
Oh, good. You're awake.
Ah, Ash! Ash has already welcomed himself in when I take my eyes away from the oven. He has never been really keen with the notion of courtesy as after he's worn out to you. This guy. All 13 of my locks he broke can attest to that. What? He breaks locks? I don't want my friend breaking my locks. Well, If he's a really close friend of yours, I mean, this close, you might have just hand him the key. He's a good fellow though. Maybe a test, bit offish at first glance, but he's trustworthy.
Don't you have work today?
I could ask the same of you. Hey, Izzy, man.
You're late. Something came up? You need to drop the Z-Man. It's getting old.
Sorry, I got caught with something at the precinct on the way here. Had to attend to that first before things got out of hand. I'd tell you about it, but you know how it can be with those kinds of things. Later, maybe.
And you're here because...
What? I'm not allowed to say hello?
I doubt you're here because of that. And you're not answering my question.
Ah, my bad. Forgot to mention that. He called earlier looking for you. Rebecca's worried because you didn't come home last night.
You could have called my cell instead.
You weren't picking up. Anyway, I'd really hate to cut this little get-together short, but I need to be somewhere else. Come on, Isabella, let's get you home. I'll drop you off on the way.
Wait, we're going now?
He lightly claps a hand on her arm and begins to ushering her out of the apartment, throwing a casual wave at me as the day passes. Isabella, on the other hand, doesn't appear too fond of the idea. Sure enough, before they can even cross the threshold, she puts a firm foot down, the force alone enough to hold them both and catch a tall man off guard. It would have made for a funny picture. The way Ash almost crashed into her, and Isabella giving an indignant pout over her shoulder. Surprising and confusing are his face all at once. Two things that really ever grace it if he can help it. A rare moment, even for a small group. If I only had my camera with me. Dang.
What is it?
Zach cooked something.
If it's just food, I'll get you something on the way back.
Wait, why is he pushing her out of the apartment? Does he like her?
But the food! It's Zach's cooking. Real delicious food that actually tastes like food. At least stay and have a bite, please. Zach, help me here.
Those two, whenever they are in the same room, sometimes feel like herding a group of unruly kids instead of talking to two mature adults. One moment they're engaged in a pleasant chit-chat, and the next they're picking over a minor issue. Frankly, if I know any better and I have an overreactive imagination, I'd say there's something going on. Never mind how utterly impossible the idea is. Or it might just be me reading too much into things like this always. I can already hear Ash's laughter if I so much as suggest such. Oh great! Oh great. I should oh no. Well, okay, so I'm gonna check relationship level. I'm really high with Isabella. Let's see.
Now, I don't know about you two, but I think you guys should really
Ah,
stay.
there we go. See?
Already made enough food for all of us, and it'd be a waste. Why, I cooked up that special honey glazed ham you two keep on yapping about. Got some scalloped potatoes with onions and cheddar to go with it, too.
The oven times things. I shoo of them to an apologetic look before salting over to the kitchen, minutes in hand. The sweet smell of the glaze and salty taint of melted cheese wave through the air as soon as I open the door and take out those two trays inside. The scent immediately fills the entire room, and even with the door and windows open, the mouth-watering aroma lingers. It is appealing enough that I put the dishes down on the counter. Another starved stomach protests loudly, followed by a burst of laughter. My head snaps up at the two of them, and I can't keep back the smile at the sight they make. Isabella is clinging to the door frame for support, double over with breathless laughter. Ash is more composed of the two, trying to look unconcerned, but a flush has crept up in his neck and cheeks. It's clear whose stomach that came from, and Isabella is not going to let him live this down.
You're in no place to reject an offer of free food, Frey.
I wasn't rejecting anything. Damn it, I just missed a meal, that's all.
Aw, he's flustered.
Shut it! Those guys at the precinct said it was urgent. Somebody has to be responsible for it.
Well, aren't you precious?
Right. You know, if you keep laughing like that, you'll burst.
I'm sure it won't be as bad as your stomach suddenly rumbling like a starved.
Alright, kiddos, play nice. Food's gonna get cold if we keep this up. Ash, you gonna stay?
Might as well, since Scaredy Cat's so hell-bent on staying.
Aha, they have nice food together. That looks actually pretty good. We eventually settle down after the food has been served. The gym's replaced by another round of friendly chatter, mostly about what's on the news the night before. There is, however, a conscious effort to avoid mentioning what's currently on the headlines. The dead is never a good topic to talk over food and polite company. This case in particular. The wounds are too fresh, too soon. I'd like to avoid it as well if I were in her position. And someone I personally knew passed away in a gruesome manner like that. Though perhaps the closest we got to broaching the topic is when an famous mention is brought up again. But even then, we're careful, Ash and I. We keep the conversation light and avoid bringing up her latest business partner. It's the least we can do.
The Wrights? Yeah, they're planning to move in soon. In fact, they already have a housewarming party planned. It's why they wanted us to rush the papers. They wanted to send the invitations out as soon as possible.
Oh, now I get it.
Get what?
Remember what I told you last night about the new clients?
Vaguely? Sorry, I was a little out of it yesterday. Was it the photo shoot?
Yep, it's actually for the one you sold. Ermide, something.
Oh my god. There, I said it.
When you put it that way, I suppose it makes sense why my boss wants me to prioritize the couple. They can have those documents rushed at just a snap of their fingers. And then, man, I guess my boss is expecting a lot more from this project than I expected. Hope I can live up to it.
Your photographs are more than good enough, Zach. You'd probably win an international award if you let yourself. Ma'am Hana's easy to please, too. As long as you're good at following instructions.
Easier said than done. Different clients have different tastes, after all.
Still, a week? I don't think that's possible.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah. They wanted everything finished at the earliest. To be honest, it's not unheard of, but...
But it's still weird. Still weird, yeah?
A slip of the tongue. Still barely noticeable to someone who's already familiar with the Ash's ways. Yet in this moment, it's impossible to miss. I shoot him a curious glance, but he ignores it, rather pointedly.
I can't exactly say it's like that, where I'm just the middleman after all. As much as I want to comment on it, I only know what's on the surface, not the in and outs. It's just that BRC and my boss are more hands-on with the legal stuff this time, despite having a separate department dedicated to it.
Maybe Mr. Wright helped with it too. They have their own legal team for this, don't they?
Well, they should have one, especially for a big property like this.
They have, but like I said, it's off our hands. Rose and I don't handle this stuff in the office. If anything, to me, this just means I'll be able to send the rest of the funds to Papa's treatment earlier.
I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. Officially off our instant noodle diet, aren't we?
Ash, has anyone ever told you that you have an uncanny way of ruining the mood?
What? I was just saying. A few more months of stuffing your face with those, and I'm sure you'll start to look like a noodle cup. That's a pretty picture.
At least I don't live off convenience store food. Or make poor, unassuming pressure cookers explode.
What? How did you... Oh, come on, Zach.
Sorry, it just came up while we were cooking earlier.
I'm impressed, Ashton Frey. You even made it to the news.
A one-time thing. And it wasn't as big as you seem to be imagining.
Oh, sure. Let's all pretend that one time you almost set my apartment on fire didn't happen too.
Hey, that was an accident.
You were making a salad, Ash.
Wow.
Can we please move on to a different topic?
It helps. The casual talk, the harmless tease, the mundane story interesting enough to let the time passes unnoticed. By the time lunch ends, the shadow are no longer at the forefront of my mind. It's the same for Isabella. For whatever troubles her, I can never tell. These things, the anxiety, the fear, they ain't easy to sing. They ain't easy forgotten after all.
You go on ahead. I've got a few things I need to ask Zach. I'll be downstairs in a minute.
Confusion briefly flashed in her eyes as she catches the key toss over, but he doesn't give her an answer and waits for her to go ahead.
How sure are you I won't be driving away with your Shirley?
You don't even have a license. Do you even know how to?
Papa taught me how. I'm probably a better driver than you. See you later, Zach. Thanks for the food.
Always has to have the last word, don't you?
You're welcome. I'll send you the recipe for the potatoes tonight.
A grin's back on her face when she leaves and closes the door behind her. For a little while after we are left alone, Ash goes wholly quiet, listening, waiting for her remaining footsteps in the hall to fade. The earlier amusement is gone from his face, replaced with what I can only describe as trepidation. I knew that look all too well. When he's like this, he's expecting shit about to go down at some point.
That wasn't very nice, Ash. What was that with Isabella earlier? You're usually subtler with your questions.
They hired you.
Hired me who? Don't change the subject yet. What's really going on here?
The Wrights. Luke and Hannah Wright. You said your next gig is with them.
Is that what this is all about?
Just be careful around them. You have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to that couple. I'd rather you stay as far away from them as possible, but you're already here. Isabella's their real estate agent. Seriously, of all the people in Luxburn.
Okay. I guess I'll just have to take your word for it.
He nods, claps with a comforting hand on my back, and turns to leave without another word. He's never been good with those. More often, he fumbles with what he wants to say, but his actions alone are enough to tell me how grateful he is for the trust. He reaches over and up as soon as he gets to the door, but it doesn't turn. Instead, he looks back and gestures with his head towards the table. I don't need to follow a line of sight to know what he's going to ask about. He's likely taken notice the moment he entered the room.
You back on those? I haven't seen you taking them in a year.
Yeah, I kinda had to. It got worse after the film fest. The dreams, that is. I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon.
Heard about that. Don't drop it, though. You don't want Becca scolding you. She actually enjoyed the movie you made, and she's hard to please. Consider that a small victory.
You don't have to tell me. She already did. Rebecca and Bella both gave me an earful after I said the opposite. Promised them I wouldn't, but you can never tell. Hopefully, once I feel better, I'll be able to think about it properly. Speaking of Bella, she didn't open up to me, but maybe with you and Rebecca.
Yeah, I'll try. I can't promise anything, but I'll talk to her.
Thanks. That's all I'm asking.
This time, when he reaches for the door, he lets it close fully behind him without glancing back. Male draft swings her room as I close the door behind him, slightly disturbing the papers on the nearby fridge. A lone note flustered by my feet, the letters on the surface glanced at me with mute intensity. Ermengarde Mansion, H. Wright, eliminated for luxury living. After Ashton's warning, they all hold a different meaning now. Okay, so what happened here? The next 2 days rush by a blur, altogether leaving a collective mess of work suddenly pile up and new unexpected acquaintances. Or friends? Depends on how you look at it, really. Either way, I'm stuck developing these photos at 3 in the morning to reach a deadline set by the average art director. Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision, and knows what he wants, but damn, he can be too enthusiastic sometimes.
Doesn't matter when you couldn't sleep anyway.
There's nothing new in it, of course. After years of working as a freelancer photographer, it's simply something I've grown used to. Getting student people, building a client base, do good work, and cash in some late hours if needed. Rinse and repeat. It certainly takes a while to get the footing on the field, but it's the kind of thing that pays off in the long run as long as you keep at it. Give enough time, you might end up with the big names on your client list. Names like Wrights in particular. I never did pay much attention to them, but it's virtually impossible not to hear about them when a local news channel or paper has something to say in their name. A party here, and acquisition there, sometimes a new business venture, other times the everyday gossip that typically falls on popular people like them. Not a million years did I imagine I would end up working for such a high-profile couple. And between that and the fuss that comes with, it leaves me no time to ponder over what happened to Isabella, or Ash is adamant that we keep away from the pair.
They do seem like the good folk, though, despite the whole fame thing.
Sure, there's a rumor running around years ago about him being involved in some business scandal, but just like every other gossip that blown out of proportion by the media, nothing came of it, and eventually it simply died down. Much is definitely left to be said for the husband, but I doubt a woman like Miss Wright would pick him if he doesn't have the good points after at all. Miss Wright handled herself though. Oh wow, I thought he kind of captured a ghost. So what happened? He ain't particularly bad the way the press make her out to be. The tabloid had it all wrong, that's for sure. For someone born with a silver spoon in her mouth, well, she ain't exactly what I was expecting. Among other things, the newfound friendship that is what I least expected from her. But here we are. Although with a life as public as the Wrights, no wonder the woman who often gets crappy end of the stick. I can't help but feel sorry for her. She's a nice person when given a chance. Heck, she might even end up the friends with Becca and Isabella too, if they aren't living worlds apart. Probably. A quick beat pulls me back before my thoughts travel any further. In one practiced motion, I carefully placed the wet print on holding my drying rack and ambled my makeshift darkroom to get the last photos from the water baths. Inside a converted broom closet, the film processor lets out another soft clack before going on standby mode. At its mouth, a lone photographer sat on the tray, barely visible with the lack of light. This is where he's gonna see something, right? It is the last one tonight for the set, Miss Wright crested. I don't usually make this a habit, giving away stuff that is. It's bad for the business, no matter how well intended or generous you are. This exception, however, she did treat me well and was pleasant companion all throughout the shoot. Even if she didn't ask, I would probably give her a few prints just for the hell of it. Miss Wright ain't such a bad subject matter to begin with. And maybe this is just me, but for someone who's had everything on her palm of her hands, all the money in the world, and a loving husband, and a plenty big mansion to call home, she is lonely. She doesn't just appear like it. It shows in the tone of her voice, how she moves, and most certainly in her smiles. Always hidden behind a glimmer for the world to never see. Sometimes for people like her, small things like these helps. A little reminder that the world can be kind too. Water drips on the photo as I blindly pick it up and gently lay on another tray holding a decent amount of photo flow. A few seconds later, the solution is all it needs before it's ready for dying. No girl rushing this last one, even if my body already screaming for some decent snooze. My hand fumbles at the light switch, moving towards it with familiarity, while I fish for a squeegee among the mess of tools on the drawer with the other. The ball flicks twice before glow settles, casts a soft light in the tiny space. When I glance back down, squeegee in hand, ready to finish the process and finally call it night. There we go.
What on earth?
See? Her head is gone. Blur and distort beyond recognition, rather. The area red completely smudged over, leaving no trace of the same sweet smile for the good woman to carry all of the previous prints.
Damn, that was too careless.
No, I think you did it right. A common mistake to make, of course, if one's negligent enough to pick a newly processed photo in the dark, like I apparently did. It has happened before, loads of times actually, but I still can't help a small pang of frustration over one mistake of a newbie would likely make. With a sigh, I reach up for a switch again and tend to develop a new one from scratch.
It could pass off for one of those supernatural pictures they show on TV, though.
And memory clicks? and a sensory thought of Seal Mini in a short yet distinctive second from the day before. A glimpse is all I got, but it's enough to burn the image in my mind. There was a shadow. Aha! No. Oh my god. A woman in her 20s or early 30s maybe, but with how far her flesh alone has become, it's not possible to tell at first glance. The skin itself already taken a sticky pale color, raw in most parts, blood dripping from every gash and lesion on her body. Bony hands gripping Miss Wright's neck like a nose, staining the skin underneath with the vibrant shades of scarlet. Nothing but metal's stick gleaming in her eyes.
Zachery?
Not for me, but for Miss Wright.
Zach, is something the matter?
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something I saw. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
The memory alone makes me rich. I brush it often. A trick of that I told myself were a product of the heat. The weather has been unexpectedly warm recently, so it shouldn't be too surprising for such things to happen. And, well, blaming on the usual fatigue and an overworked brain, the weather, with an immature error on my part, is far more convenient. It makes a whole lot of sense than what small voice inside of my head whispers. The same tiny voice that makes itself know when something's at fault. The same one that lent a curious ear to Isabella's worries about the mansion. And with each second I spend staring at the photograph, the murmurs in my head only grow louder against my ears. Oh shit! Oh boy, how long have we played? Is this a good point to stop? I think I should actually show the photos to I think I should show it to Ash maybe, cause we don't want like Hannah to be like all disturbed and shit, right? Let's do it. But do I want to do it right now? Is this a good time to stop? Alrighty. So it seems I only play for like what? Let's show it to Ash. Ash. Okay, let's see. Well, that doesn't change anything. Give me the flakes for this, he will. I can already hear what he's going to say about the moment I bring it up. Or the branching tree. Dude, I have a lot of branching. So apparently I went to the long route. Actually, no. Hold on 1 second. There's this difficult route over here. Oh god. So I went to this route. Oh no. So this is actually the easy route. Tell Ash or tell Hannah. Holy crap. Don't you guys want to know all these on the top? Holy, we're missing a lot of sequence. Well, actually no, we didn't. Because the sequence is kind of after that. Okay, we didn't miss anything. Let's just go the different route. Hell, before he even sees anything else, I'll wager this guy's skeptic through and through. It'll make more than my account for him to even consider this. But when you've been there before, or seen something enough to raise the hair of the back of your neck and leave you wanting to flee or hide, what he thinks is the least of my concerns. I am no hero. That's a title best reserved for someone else. Still, if this doesn't help him change his mind, it's worth a try. Isabella's gone and done with that thing, didn't she? Outside, the sun has yet to rise. I still got a few hours before dawn. Good enough time to mull over how I go about this with them. Plenty of space to check if I get the same result if I redo the process again. The film processor hums back to life at my touch, and the light switch gives out a soft click, and darkness embraced the small closet again.
Somehow those urban legends don't sound so silly now.
Oh boy. Sometimes I wish Ash would make himself easier to find. 24 messages, 13 phone calls, and 1 visit to his flat later. I still have no idea which rock in Luxembourg he went out to hide under it again. The guy has his own place but refuses to stay in it. Has his own phone but doesn't answer any of his calls or give any indication he's got my message. Most of the time he just shows up my front door. Sometimes in the middle of the night complaining how uncomfortable to sleep at the back of his surely his car, as if the old couch in my flat is any better. Nothing new from him though, but a bit frustrating riddle. There's a police prison, of course, but then again he's not there most of the time either. In that it's also a true story for the day. He's likely out for another stakeout. There's nothing much to do for me but to wait if that's the case.
Let's just hope I'm lucky enough today.
Well, Luxembourg is a relative place city boasting with low crime rate. It's pre-Kent, pre-Kent, whatever that word is, I don't remember. Stays abuzz with the activity. As soon as I open the glass front doors, murmurs come from the people waiting in the lobby would welcome me. Officers can occasionally be seen shuffling in and out of the rooms, greeting a civilian with a casual smile and a polite nod. Sometimes though, I look a little worse than for weird. Like the receptionist who looked at me with much disdain the moment I arrived. Thankfully, I won't have to deal with him today. Before I could even step in, Ashton's voice, though low, comes from the hallway adjacent to a lobby.
Not even for just 1 minute?
No. The case was dismissed, remember?
You were the one handling that case.
If you want access to those records, you've got to ask Chief. I was taken off it before shit went to hell. Why do you even bother? Even Professor Clark seems to have given up on that.
Well, never mind, you won't understand.
Right. I know you owe Professor Clark a lot, but the right guy isn't just someone you mess with. They've got the money. Who knows what else gets swept under the rug with them involved?
That takes a special kind of ignorant not to know.
And a smart person to know which boundaries he can't cross. You're a bright guy, you'll figure it out. In any case, I've got to get going. Another missing person case on my hand. Benjamin on the front desk looks like he's about to maul someone after the 4th one yesterday. Murders, people missing, what a time to be alive. Man, I miss the old Luxburn.
You and me both. I'll see ya. Gonna go grab some lunch.
He knows me first as soon as he enters the lobby and pauses. Confusion briefly crosses his face until I fish out the phone from my pocket and waves it up. Frowning, he pulls his own mobile out. Wordless fiddle with it for a few seconds before sighing heavily. This ain't the noise in him when he glances up though, only a mild exasperation and what might have been a hint of amusement.
Stop taking pointers from Isabella. This is gonna get old soon.
At least use your phone properly.
It's an alarm clock, a good note-taking device, a halfway decent camera, and maybe a music player too.
Now that I
If I'm
think of
being
it,
nice.
Maybe I should show it to Hannah first. But we have chosen Ashton, so I'm just gonna go with it.
What else do I need it for?
I don't know, keeping in contact maybe?
When he merely shrugs, I know I've struck a chord. He's far from holding a piece of technology in contempt, of course. Ash has already been nothing but practical from the start, and the technology is useful. Only when he gets too focused on one thing like a case he's handling, he tends to forget there are other things around him. A little remember and a nudge in the right direction can get him a long way.
I've got an email on that social media site the girls roped us into joining.
That doesn't make any sense. Also, you've got an account before any of us had one.
For policing purposes? Anyway, why are you here? I thought you have something scheduled today. Or was that yesterday?
That was yesterday. Look, about that, there's something I want you to see.
He stops me with a tad on my shoulder, walking me past the straight door and gesturing me with the head towards the very irked receptionist when I raised my elbow in question.
Over lunch. I haven't eaten anything since last night, and Benjamin there doesn't really like loiterers around here.
Wordless, I follow him, but not after sending the poor guy behind the table to an apologetic smile. As expected, he takes the seat in the furthest corner of the cafe, a good way from the window, but easily allows a view of who comes and goes. Secluded enough to not be disturbed by the lunch hour rush overhead by the curious bystander. If I didn't know this is the lunch he invited me to, I would automatically assume I got dragged into another stakeout. After years of knowing him though, this has simply become one of the many habits he has, and I got used to it. Food arrives minutes later. Wow, that looks... What the? Is that like a portrait of Ash? A slice of vegetarian... I don't know how to pronounce that word. I know it's a treat, but I never got used to it. For me, while Ash has opted for a cup of coffee plus a gracious serving
You
of...
having cake for lunch?
He shrugs and then proceeds to dig in without even a hint of remorse. Frankly, it's like seeing a child in his Christmas present day.
Don't tell Becca.
Early.
I'll get an earful. It's just for today.
You should listen to her though. The kind of work you do, you'll need to eat something other than sweets. I don't want to see you drop dead in front of my apartment again.
I told you, just this once. Have you been hanging out with Becca lately? You're beginning to sound like her.
Nah, just for some recipes. But she has the right to worry, you know? It's like she's taking care of two kids. One bitches on sweets, while the other on cup noodles. At least Bella knows how to cook.
Hey, I can at least boil something. Wait, that's easy, right? I mean, you just put water in and...
No, don't even think about it. You destroyed your own kitchen once by sticking a pressure cooker on it. I think my sister is a whole lot better than you. And this is coming from someone who has no other choice but to eat her cooking for some time.
To be fair, he genuinely appears offended at the last remark. Hate will be too strong a word to describe how Sis and him usually interact whenever they're in the same room. Though, whatever appropriate word it is, I can't say with most certainty that feeling mutual for both. Ash thinks she nags too much, while Sis thinks he's a trouble magnet. I should stay away from. They're both technically right on their assessment.
How's your sister, by the way? Still bullying white guys?
Wait, what? I mean, so in this... I want him to show him... I really want him to show the picture, so I'm gonna go with it. You don't want to start it. She's married to one now.
You do know she's married to one now.
Oh wow, it goes on even further, huh?
I hope she doesn't end up poisoning him with her cooking.
Pot calling the kettle black?
She can't be better than me.
Actually, she is now. They're planning to start a restaurant sometime in the future.
I was bedridden for days after eating some of the stuff she whipped up. And now you're letting her cook for other people?
Don't exaggerate. It was just for one day, and you're the one who refused to leave your apartment. You should come by, though. Sis gave birth a few days ago. Girl, I've only seen the pictures, but I might visit sometime after everything's settled down. Too many backlogs to go through for now.
No way in hell. She'll just find something to criticize again. Last time, it was Shirley.
He makes a show of being utterly mortified. Though I'm quite sure how he doesn't mean any of that. He might not say it straight out, but I'm pretty sure he's enjoying the small visits whenever he can. Sometimes about it reminding him his own family, sort of like making up for one he never got back after his parents separated. Sore spot, the one topic, one thing he never brings it up in any conversation, if he can help it. And I've never seen the need to be nosy. There are some wounds you're just not meant to be open, and for both of us, the sentiment goes the same way.
As if you ain't already on a shit list. You're just afraid of her.
In your dreams. But I'll think about it. Can't just drop this thing at the moment.
Come on, guys, show the note. I want to see your reactions. His changes in tone was subtle, while his aggravation over the matter hangs completely palpable in the air.
Still no closer?
The opposite, actually. There's been some slip-ups here and there. Careless mistakes, and let's just say I'm waiting for him to make another one. What about you? How are things on your end?
All piled up on top of the other. But I can manage. Still recovering from the expenses for the movie, so the surge in new projects helps. Well, there's this one thing.
Here we go! There we go. So, the expression on his face grew more puzzled with each photo I spread on the table. There's 8 of them of 3 prints about the same thing. Miss Wright's distorted head on the photo. He takes a minute to go through each, eyeing the prints warily. The furrow on his brow doesn't ease even as he gathers into one pile and sets him in one neat stack in front of me with a heavy sigh.
Hannah Wright?
Yeah. How did you...
The locket. She never takes it off. Evan's family heirloom.
I won't even think about asking him why or how he knows that. He's investigating them. He'll likely already dug up every unimaginable dirt on them, including family history.
Are you done with your work with them?
Yesterday, yeah. It's just a small feature for a magazine. Interviews, photos, standard stuff, nothing big. But see, here's the thing. I don't know how else to put this out there without sounding crazy, but there really is something odd with that place. Remember the letter?
He drags in the breath, reaches out the nose and pinches it, like the action alone will help him grant the patience in the world to continue this conversation.
Please tell me this isn't about that again.
No, Ash, you've got to listen this time.
I am listening, and I can't believe that just came out of your mouth. These are some blurred out photos, and that letter is just a stupid prank. I expected this from Isabella, not you. You're the photographer here. I don't see any need to get worked up over this.
I know what you mean, but will you hear me out first?
As she leans back in his seat, doesn't say anything further. He gestures for me to continue with the wave of his hand, impatiently clear on his face. Any other person telling him this, he'll walk out without battering an eye. I suppose the only reason he's giving me a benefit of doubt because we know each other.
Ash, I don't easily buy into these things as much as you do. Yesterday, though, behind Hannah.
He blinks at that, his eyebrow lifting momentarily before settling into a deep frown.
Hannah? Since when were you on a first-name basis with the right missus?
Why does that even matter?
I thought you said this was just a gig.
His voice stayed level, but accusation is clear as day. It hints of a nerve in me somehow, more than that tone usually does. Ugh! Dude, this is... Okay, so we are here. Oh wow, damn. So I picked the right choice all along? Patience can be a tough thing to some at times, but we didn't get this far as friends. We didn't let temper be the lure of us.
Bro, it's really just another freelance work.
His eyes, he eyes me skeptically. Oh god, must get too tired. But I want to know, damn it! The same stare he reserved for people he interrogates. I've been on the receiving end of before, early in our friendship. Years later, he's already got an unimpressed, please look down pat.
And there's nothing going on with me and Miss Hannah. She was just being friendly. Insisted I call her by her first name. That's all.
I wasn't implying any of that. You're not that sort of guy.
I know, but let's just get that out of the way. The just-in-case elephant in the room scenario, aight? She's a married woman, Jesus!
Not with the image she presents in public.
No, but trust me, she ain't any of the things the tabloid writes about her.
Like I read any of those.
I know you don't, but keep it in mind, will you?
Will do. Though I can't promise you'll get off scot-free if she's involved. Man, with how you're acting, it feels like I'm doing a solid for your girlfriend.
Cut that out, will you? And I'm not asking you to. Besides, what's currently going on here is more important.
All right, lay it in.
Recounting everything takes a better half of lunch, but he managed to listen through the entire thing without a snid comment. A feat in itself, actually. At the end of it, Ash merely nods, takes out his phone, and excuses himself. off to a far corner cafe for some privacy. If you can afford it in such a place as public as this. What the hell is this? He returned with a little while and hands me a small card. Wait, is that phone number still works? What about the email?
I can't stop you if you're willing to believe in this crap. Give this guy a call. You're better off talking to him than me. He's at the public library now if you want to catch him there. He used to be my professor back in the university.
Oh, no, I don't think that's...
Go on, I already gave him a heads up. You know I can't help you out, man.
Okay, he gives my arm the tap and walks out, murmuring about checking back how things are in the predicament. It's a pre-sanct or I can't pronounce. I don't see his face when he leaves, but I know this is his own little way of helping out despite he doesn't want to voice out. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop here. I'm getting really tired for some reason. Like I start slurring my speeches a lot. So let me just save this, and when we come back, we will go forward. Let's just check the branching tree here. So we are, holy crap! It was just another gig. Oh no! So, well, not no, but we seem to take the most painless path there is. Like we actually, this whole entire segment here. Like by telling Ash, we bypass all of that thing instead of telling Miss Hannah. And then story update, common route. So either way, this is gonna happen. There's 3 routes that we can take, but both leads to the same ending. So I guess this is the safe route for him to take. I think we're on the route to getting a good ending. I really think we are. Okay, so these are, so if I tell him otherwise, really just another gig. So after that, after this is, this is gonna be a long route. Okay, after this is over, it's gonna be a long series route before branching over here. Wow, Jesus! And there is 1 and 2. After over here, there will be like 2 and 3. Yeah, 2 endings. One over here, one over here. So let's hope for the best that we can do this. And next time we come back, we're gonna do 2 more parts, I guess. 1 more part. So thank you guys for very much following the series. I know not many people is doing this story simply because it takes like too long, but I have nothing to do. I really want to complete and know the story, so I'm doing this. So anyways, let me know how you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys, and thank you very much for following. Bye.